Hello, I'm Janelle from Project School Wellness, and this is a quick video on decision making. So, learning how to make healthy decisions is one of the core health skills outlined in the National Health Education Standards. And in this video, we're going to look at what it means, why it matters, and how to do it. So, what does it mean to make healthy decisions? So, this is the ability to make values-based decisions that enrich your life and boost well-being. So, a values-based decision is making decisions based on what you identify as valuable rather than on what's valuable to another person or group of people. So, why does this matter? So, all day, every day, we're constantly making decisions and having to deal with the consequences. Some of these are small decisions with small consequences. Some of them are big decisions with big consequences. And by learning how to make healthy decisions, we limit the risk of negative and adverse outcomes or consequences. And then we're also empowered to take ownership of our well-being. So let's take a look at how we make healthy decisions. And the D.E.C.I.D.E model is a step-by-step guide for making healthy decisions. So the first thing is D, define the decision. So this is when we're going to determine what decision actually has to be made. We're going to define what it is. 2 is to explore your options. So this is when we're going to determine what are our options. So we have this choice that needs to be made, and these are the different options that we can choose in terms of making that decision. And then C, consider the consequences. We want to outline the consequences of the various options. So we want to think, okay, this is the decision. I have option A, B, and C. And then look at, okay, what are the consequences if I choose A, if I choose B, or if I choose C? Then we want to identify our values. So this is when we outline our values and we determine how they relate to the decision that needs to be made and to the various options that we have. D is when we're going to decide and act. So hopefully we are choosing to make deciding based on what our values are and deciding the option that we know will bring the most or that will enhance our well-being the most. But sometimes we don't do that because we've weighed our options and the consequences and we've chosen to do something else. But at this point we decide and act. And it's really important that we actually make a decision and act, and we don't just think and think and think and think and we actually do something. Then E is to evaluate the results. So this is then when we take time to reflect on our choice and determine, hey, was that a values-based decision? Was that a decision that was wise? Was that a decision I'd make again? Did that decision add meaning and purpose to my life? Did it enhance my well-being? This is when we evaluate, and then where we also then think about for next time, would I make the decision a little bit differently? How would I, do things? So let's take a look at a real life example. So let's say that the decision is, should I stay up and watch more Netflix or should I go to bed? So our options are to go to bed or to watch Netflix. The consequences would be if I go to bed, I'll be more rested in the morning, I'll get a better night's sleep. And the consequence of watching Netflix longer could be I could end up watching a number of more episodes. I could go to bed really late. I could be late for school in the morning. I could be grumpy and grouchy for school in the morning, or maybe I'm running late so I miss breakfast or miss the bus and I have to walk to school. So those are different consequences. So then I identify our values. So what are some things that we value? Well, hopefully you value sleep. You also value being happy in the morning and being pleasant to be around. But maybe you also value entertainment, and you value the show that you're watching, or you value the experience you're having with someone. So we got to consider those different values. So then decide and act. So let's say that you decide that what's more important now is to enjoy the entertainment rather than to go to bed and be rested. So you decide and act. You watch more Netflix and go to bed late, and then evaluate the decision. So the end of the next day, you evaluate your decision. So you went to bed too late, you couldn't concentrate in class, you were short-tempered, you got snippy with some of your friends, and you evaluate, oh, that wasn't actually a great decision. It ended up not being positive because I was not very nice and I was cranky and, couldn't pay attention in class. So that's just a real quick example. So I encourage you to make values-based decisions in your life. And I know it's not always easy, but I just encourage you to really think about the D.E.C.I.D.E model and think about those steps, internalize those steps, And the more you think about them, the more natural that process will be. And there'll be times when you just basically work through those steps in your head without even really thinking. And then there might be other times a bigger, more important decision that you'll need to write it out, maybe even consult some people that you care about, that you trust. And so I just really encourage you to learn how to make healthy decisions and to really use healthy decisions as a tool for taking ownership of your well-being and for living your best life. So if you want to learn anything else about making healthy decisions, or just see more resources on healthy decision making, please check out projectschoolwellness.com.